Imagine how thrilling sports cars are meant to be. The speed, the dynamic drive, the sheer exhilaration. But not all sports cars are born equal. Get ready to meet the 8 slowest sports cars that lag behind when it comes to top speeds. Surprisingly, these cars struggle to break 150 miles per hour.
Oh my God!
A Speed family SUVs now achieve effortlessly. From Japanese legends to European prestige, welcome to Infinite Mileage, where I'll take you through 8 sports cars that won't get you home in time for dinner. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on awesome car content just like this. 8. 2020 Honda Civic Type R. When they introduced the 2020 Honda Civic Type R, it looked more aggressive than Chewbacca on steroids, but it failed to catch up with other cars on tracks like the Nürburgring, despite its sporty appearance and performance-oriented branding.
Wow!
It doesn't quite deliver on the expectation of speed. The focus with this model is mostly on precision and agility rather than outright top speed, so it's not the fastest option in Honda's lineup. But what it lacks in top speed, it makes up for in handling and driving dynamics because the Type R is engineered to be awesome on twisty roads thanks to its amazing chassis. So, while it might not be the fastest, I think you'll find that it still has plenty of excitement for the average car enthusiast like you and me. 7. Smart Roadster. Back in the late 1990s, the Smart 4.2 city car didn't exactly set the sales charts on fire, with a 2-seater packing a tiny 0.7-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine that produces 81 horsepower, equipped with the slowest automated gearbox since the dawn of time. Sure, it tried to pull off F1-style shifting, but it had about as much credibility as an energy drink claiming to give you wings. And its sales were about as impressive as the peach fuzz we grew on our faces as preteens, which is why the car eventually got discontinued. And if you think going 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.6 seconds sounds bad, they even had a European entry-level model, which had only 61 horsepower and took 15 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour. That's probably slower than my neighbor's minivan. I've saved the slowest sports car for last, so stick around to see how slow it is. Like this video and subscribe to our channel if you still haven't. 6. MG Midget. It seems like the MG Midget missed the memo about how to be a sports car. This little guy couldn't even break the 90 miles per hour barrier, and that's saying something, especially in the realm of classic cars that aren't always about being fast. Sure, the MG Midget's name sounds like it's something made for Hasbulla, but it's a bona fide British sports car icon, with its peppy 1.0-liter engine producing a humble 46 horsepower. Heck, it even got an upgrade to a 1.1-liter engine that brought up the power to 56 horsepower. Sounds good, right? Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Sure, it had some more performance, but it took over 18.3 seconds to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which meant it took ages for it to reach its top speed of 88 miles per hour. 5. Toyota GT86. Toyota has a reputation for making tough vehicles, but if you're hoping for a Toyota that can beat all the sports cars out there, you might be in for a letdown with this one. Enter the Toyo Baru. It's here to show us that not all sports cars are super fast, and not all fast cars are necessarily sporty. In fact, the Toyo Baru wasn't designed to be a speed champion in a straight line because it even struggles to keep up with an old riced-up Honda. Both Subaru and Toyota made an interesting choice by using a flat-4 boxer engine, which keeps the car's center of gravity low, and they both decided to skip turbocharging in favor of quick and responsive acceleration.
Wow! Very dangerous!
But with just 197 brake horsepower, I'm afraid this car wasn't built to be a pocket rocket. It's still a great example of the idea that having lots of power isn't the only thing that matters though. After all, what really counts is a well-balanced chassis that knows how to use every bit of that horsepower. 4. C3 Corvette California Edition. 1980 was a low point for America's sports car scene when the C3 Corvette became boring thanks to California's strict emissions rules. This time, instead of going all out with their big block V8 engines, Chevy threw in the towel and slapped on a smaller L48 motor. No, God, please, no! Imagine a legendary sports car like a Corvette without an LS that can't count past 85 miles per hour. Unfortunately, the US government had decided that every car should have this speed limit, so Chevy didn't feel the need to give the Corvette a big block LS motor that it became famous for. Luckily, this was only a one-time thing, and this Corvette only made a brief appearance in the 1980 model year with 190 horsepower from its standard L48 and 3-speed automatic gearbox. Land of the free, home of the slow Corvettes? 3. Porsche 914 4. Now it's time I take you on a trip down memory lane. Did you know that Volkswagen and Porsche were secret partners long before today's Touareg and Cayenne tag team? Well, back in the 60s, VW and Porsche were cooking up a joint project, 420 Blaze M. No, seriously, jokes aside, this partnership was pure sports car poetry. Imagine a cool Targa-roofed beauty hitting the streets, but the twist was that the basic version only had a 4-cylinder engine under the VW banner, while the powerful flat-6 engine rocked the Porsche badge like a boss. But Porsche wasn't exactly confident about having their badge on a Volkswagen, so when the car finally hit the streets, they ended up giving it a Porsche logo. The US got a taste of the entry-level model packing a not-so-spectacular 80-horsepower engine, and while it's lighter than a feather, it's about as fast as a new Corolla with a 0 to 60 time of 13.3 seconds. But don't worry, there's a hero in this story. The 914 is equipped with 109 horsepower, and it makes up for the 914 4's poor performance with a 0 to 60 time of 8.7 seconds. 2. Ferrari 208 GTB. Picture yourself in a mid-engine Ferrari, sleek and agile, with a V8 engine growling right behind you. But it's not just a pretty face. This Ferrari packed more punch than you'd think from its 153 horses. Well, in 1980, Ferrari faced off against Italy's tax rules, which doubled taxes for cars with engines over 2,000 cc. Their smart engineers made a plan and fitted the 308 with a slightly smaller version of their Tipo V8 engine, clocking in at 1990 cc. This gave birth to a supercar with 8 cylinders, reaching a top speed of 133 miles per hour. Ferrari produced only 160 of these modified models before they decided to boost its performance by adding a turbocharger, pushing the top speed to over 150 miles per hour. It's still not as fast as most Ferraris, but it'll do, little piggy, it'll do. 1. DeLorean DMC12. If you've ever seen Back to the Future and thought the DeLorean's 88 miles per hour scene was awesome, wait until you hear how slow the actual DeLorean was. Initially, the plan was to equip this Northern Irish sports car with a high-revving Wankel rotary engine in the middle, but I think they changed their mind halfway and considered a Ford V6 engine. Surprise! Surprise! The Ford choice turned out to be unreliable. So, DeLorean took a turn towards a Citroen V6, but it lacked the power needed to go back to the future. Even the attempt to boost the Citroen engine with a turbocharger didn't pan out, so eventually they settled on a Peugeot-Renault-Volvo collaboration for a 2.8-liter V6 engine, which only managed 130 horsepower. And to make matters worse, this engine didn't fit where it was intended, so they had to go with a sportier rear-mounted setup. Now, like a Ferrari, you'd expect a car that looks like this to be fast, but the DeLorean's 0 to 60 mph time was over 10.5 seconds. It isn't exactly fast zooming through time in the real world, but hey, at least it looks like fast. That's all for today's episode. Is there any other sports car that deserves to be on this list? Let us know in the comments below. I love hearing your thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Till then, take care.